it's pretty much a death sentence, or a like permanent lung damage and ICU bed for a prolonged period of time. So in general, just because they're treating it with our meds doesn't mean that we're better off. We're actually worse off, because if we get sick, we won't be able to take the meds anyway.
Further back though, you feel it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's going plant-based.
And it looks like the needle's gone, but it's not. It goes back in.
It's
very scary.
self-retracting.
So my name is Katie Taves, and I have a series of autoimmune diseases. The first one and most prevalent is called polyarticular juvenile idiopathic spondyloarthropathy. To be very candid, people don't know shit about what it is. Secondary would be called enthesis-related arthritis, or enthesitis. And then another big one is costochondritis, which is just the chest area. It's a mixture of enthesis, and it's specific to the chest, which is around the rib cage and in the sternum. And what that does is it actually creates a lot of problems with breathing and puts pressure on your lungs and pressure on your heart. When I was 8, I was very competitive, and I always came first in liners. This is where I was unable to move, so I couldn't run liners in practice. And my coach, who was just another dad, went to my mom after practice and was like, something is seriously wrong with her. The day I got diagnosed was weird. Then they kind of knew right away by my labs and by what my knee was doing. And at that time, the disease was called juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. So they diagnosed me with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. Much of my life hasn't really changed. When the quarantine started, I was already pulling out of university. I had already made it, at the time I had agreed to go to online school, but and then I decided to just pull out of university altogether. But I also started the quarantine a lot earlier because I knew a pandemic was coming. I knew I was immunosuppressed, so my family locked down on February 27th, and we've been locked down since. I say that it's not that different for me, because these habits of never touching your face, wash your hands for 20 seconds, sanitize everything that comes in the house, sanitize the groceries, all of that stuff was already being done during cold and flu season in my house because I'm immunosuppressed. It's just now I can't be the one to go to the grocery store. People are coming to me and being like, how are you doing? And genuinely concerned. And it ends up being me telling them kind of my keys of the 1 to 2 rule, where it's you have to acknowledge the things that are scaring you and making you feel like shit. But you also, every time you do that, it's important to find 2 things that aren't making you feel like shit. But I also feel a little guilty because my personal health has gotten better since I've been in isolation, because I've been doing my physical therapy every day. I haven't been in stressful situations outside of the ongoing stress of, people dying everywhere. My mom made sure I had matching pajama sets always to stay in, and cute sweats. And so doing stuff like that to bring back a routine has been really helpful too. Wearing a dress, even though I'm just hanging out in the backyard because it's sunny, and on days when it's sunny, I like to wear dresses. Just anything that brings back the routine of picking your clothes in the morning is silly stuff like that has been helpful. And it feels good to be able to have all of that life experience that I've had finally be useful for other people. I only went to a year of high school total. And about halfway through my first semester of college, I had to drop out of 2 courses and change my major. I started as a biology major, but science majors and my chronic illness, as severe as it is, didn't go well together. It was kind of a trial year that first year. The fall of 2018 came, and that year was actually pretty good. I wasn't all that sick. It was kind of nice because I wasn't very sick that year up until the last 3 weeks. And I ended up with a 4.0 that semester, which was really great because it was a reminder of, I'm not dumb, I'm just sick most of the time, and it's adapting. We had fall 2019 where it started off my first day of school, my first class of school, getting kicked out of a class by a professor who said illness doesn't go with my curriculum. When you're like so caught up in, can I walk today? Am I able to do my physical therapy? Will I be able to keep food down? And someone is like, I didn't like that you were talking to that boy while I was talking to that boy at the frat party. And I was like, I was at a frat party that I didn't want to be at all, because I was trying to force myself to be social in college. By February 15th, I was already talking to my SDS advisor about like alternates. And then by the week of February 20th, I was in the process of getting onto video learning, which is interesting because the whole school's ended up on video learning now, but I had that set up in mid-February. By the time March 7th hit, I requested to withdraw, just because I knew that it wasn't going to be an option, because I was like unable to move and so sick. I would never have not gone. Like I should have always gone. Like I should have been there. I love my friends with all my freaking heart. Like I love them so much, but also like it's also time to like go on and accept that I'm never going to have a normal college experience and stop like killing myself trying to have one.